On today's episode of the SubscribeMe.fm show, I talk about my Brilliant-5 Blah-95 rule for making or marketing anything, death of your business by 1,000 cuts, my new Guinness World Record, the worst title ever for a free report or Facebook post, or just about any type of list post, and finding out, are you a performer or a pretender? Hello and welcome to episode number 64 of the Subscribe Me show from SubscribeMe.fm, where I talk about creating membership sites and online courses, how to make, market, and monetize digital content, the world of WordPress, and tools, techniques, and tips that you can use to create a long-term profitable online business. I am Ravi Jayagopal. I'm the creator of coolcastplayer.com, a pretty yet powerful audio player and podcast player plugin for your WordPress site. Now, I do have a new title. I am the newly minted creator of my brand new online course called Premium Podcasting at premiumpodcasting.com. So it's titled How to Create, Deliver, and Monetize Premium Audio Content and Deliver It in 4 different ways. Audio player on a page, downloadable MP3 links, a premium podcast, and a mobile app. That's right, a premium podcast, something that's not available on iTunes or any of the public directories, and how to create a premium RSS feed and put it behind a membership site and charge for it. So check it out at premiumpodcasting.com. And now here's the episode that I almost titled Death of Your Business by 1,000 Cuts.
SubscribeMe.fm.
Now, you have probably heard of that saying, death by 1,000 cuts. It is actually the title of a real book and not just a cliche. It was written by the historians Timothy Brook and Gregory Blue and scientific researcher Jerome Bourgeon, I think, which examines the use of slow slicing, also known as Ling Chi, a form of torture and capital punishment practiced in China during the 10th century until its abolition in 1905. So I guess they killed people using this method for almost 10 centuries. That's like 1,000 years before somebody stood up and, had it banned. And just when you thought it was completely gone, we entrepreneurs have successfully revived it all over again in this 21st century. Death of a business by 1,000 cuts. Now here's what I mean. When I published my first real paperback book back in 2006, I think, called No Business Like E-Business, I wanted to quickly figure out how to promote my book, right? So back then, there was no Kindle, and it was all real paperback books. So if I wanted to learn something really quick, I just went to Amazon and bought the best couple of books on the subject. So for promoting my book, I bought this book called 1001 Ways to Market Your Books. Back then, it had like a massive number of reviews on Amazon. It was highly rated. Everybody was giving it a lot of praise, singing its praise. So naturally, I bought the book. And it was a good book back in the day. But long story short, there's a reason why it has 1001 ways to promote a book and not 20 ways or not 10 ways or not 5 ways, because it lists every dang method there is, everything you could possibly think of, however basic, however obvious, it's listed in the book. That would be like me telling you, hey, if you wanted to promote your website, I have 3 amazing tips for you, right? Register for a free account on Facebook.com. Wow, amazing idea. Amazing idea number 2, friend as many people as you can. An incredible idea number 3, post the link to your Amazon product page on Facebook. Boom. How awesome is that? No, that's not awesome. That's downright stupid, right? It's like the most basic of basic things. Sign up for a Facebook account, promote a link on Facebook, promote it on Instagram. So if a list is showing you 1001 ways of doing something, then that list is usually full of a lot of obvious things, right? It's so watered down that only probably 5% of it is actually going to be useful, and let alone useful, be impactful. So I call it the 5-95 rule. 5% is brilliant, 95% is probably blah. So that brings me to my new rule, the Brilliant-5, the Blah-95 rule. So there you go. I just made up one more new thing. Sheesh. I am so good at making up weird stuff, right? So if there's ever a Guinness World Record for the person creating the most phrases or catchwords or crazy sentences, then I would certainly be most eligible for the title, right? Wait, you know what? I am going to self-bestow that title upon myself right now. That's right, ladies and germs. Meet the new Guinness World Record holder for most catchphrases and weird titles created, Mr. Ravi Jagopal. And Ravi has created such brilliant phrases like dog poo versus dosa, content responder, the talk technique, start with the pricing table, message, photo, call to action, native marketing, Seth Godin ruined the internet, and so on. Oh, and by the way, he also calls himself the coolest geek on the planet. All right, getting back on track now. So for a blog, some of the Blah-95 promotional tactics would be like contact other bloggers in your niche and ask them if you can write guest articles for them. Submit articles to easy article sharing sites, which are no longer relevant in 2017, but still do it because it's a Blah-95 tip, right? And link back to your main site via your signature. Post in old school online forums, which are slowly dying thanks to Facebook and other social apps. But you should still do it because I'm giving you Blah-95 tips, right? Yeah, you get it, right? So similarly, to promote a podcast, the Blah-95 tips would be post the link to your episode that's on your website on Facebook and Twitter, and post your MP3 link on Twitter a couple of times. Create a post on Instagram, create an audiogram and post it to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, even though audiograms are not getting any traction. So basically, an audiogram, in case you didn't know, is a video version of your audio. So you can basically have a couple of different types of audiograms. One is you take your MP3 file, you add a static image to it, and then you could add something called an audio waveform, like those which you might have seen on a TV or sports show where somebody calls in on the phone and they have the picture on the screen, and there's usually a visual animated waveform of the audio, like going up and down on the screen, just to show like they're talking, and that waveform is the sound waves they are actually creating. It may not actually match the audio, but you get the point. So you could take a small clip of your audio, add an image to it, and a waveform or not, and turn it into a video, basically a MP4 file. So you can then publish that file on Facebook. You can upload it directly to Facebook and or Twitter and YouTube and any other platform that accepts video submissions. So it's just another way for you to promote your show, right? Now, will it get you a lot of engagement and a lot of new listeners? Heck no, very little. But is that better than nothing? Absolutely. So in fact, this audiogram is a huge part of what I called as native marketing. So this is where your content is native to the platform where you're promoting it. You're not posting a link on Facebook and saying, go check out my blog post, or you're not posting a link on your blog saying, go check out my podcast outside somewhere. So you're putting the content right on the platform where you're promoting it so that the audience doesn't have to leave the current platform, whatever it is, your blog, your website, your Facebook or Instagram post, to check out your content. They can consume it right there. Now, all of that is great. Okay, all of this stuff is necessary. No question about that. It's not going to make a massive difference, but it's still required because it's part of the basic foundation of certain things you absolutely need to do to move your project further along. It's part of getting one reader at a time, one customer at a time, one listener at a time. But these are all still part of the Blah-95. You know why? Because the biggest difference between the more successful entrepreneurs and the less successful entrepreneurs is that the successful ones focus mostly on the Brilliant-5, and the rest of us spend more time worrying about the Blah-95. And that's usually because the Blah-95 is usually low-hanging fruit, or it's cheaper to create, it's cheaper to spend more time on, and you spend more time than money on the Blah-95 list, because it's usually labor intensive. It can be done by just putting in a lot of time and hustle, and most people getting started have more time than money. So they tend to choose the Blah-95 strategies, right? But the big dogs, they go right after the Brilliant-5. And one of the Brilliant-5 methods is advertising. That's right. Actually spending money to promote your thing. Now imagine that. Imagine not goofing off on Facebook for 3 hours a day and calling it networking or content marketing or relationship building. Imagine actually putting your money where your mouth is. Stop talking big game and actually gathering the guts to invest some money, even if it's just like $5 a day or $10 a day, to promote whatever it is that you're promoting. And in my next episode, I'm going to talk about how you can get money out of thin air to promote whatever it is that you wish to promote on Facebook. But now, back to this episode. So the big dogs, they're using high ROI tactics, right? Return on investment. Advertising on Facebook, advertising on Instagram, advertising on the Google Display Network, by paying influencers in cash or in kind. Now, you don't have to, always pay in cash. You can exchange services, right? You can exchange free coaching or copy of your product and so on. So that's what the big dogs do. They all do all of this high ROI tactics to promote their products. They hire a PR person or agency to get them interviews on big media. They hire a producer to help them put together their show. They bring on high profile guests. They're not doing the hunting. They have somebody else. They get help. They have virtual assistants. They get people who can get them interviewed on other high impact shows and so on. And forget about advertising, right? Forget about promoting stuff. Even if you're just in content creation mode, let's say you're writing an article or creating a list post or a list episode where you're listing, say, the top X ways to do something. Don't list the Blah-95 stuff. Go after the Brilliant-5. I cannot tell you how many reports or list posts I've read where they listed way too many things. Do you know what's the fastest and easiest way to be perceived as an expert today? Don't give me the top 100 things. I once actually read a report from a really, really top marketer, I won't name names here, that was titled, "The Top 100 WordPress Plugins You Need on Your Website." Really? Top 100? Did this guy even know that what will happen to your site's performance? That is going to go down the drain if you actually installed and activated 100 WordPress plugins? Did this person actually try installing all of those plugins? He probably didn't. He probably just Googled, right? Googled and got a list and put them together. So the biggest difference between performers and pretenders, again, a new catchphrase from me. So the difference is that the pretenders will go on Google, they'll do a search, top ways to promote a book. Know what that gets you? You'll get about 173 million results. Guess what the first few results are? Here are the titles. 50 surprisingly simple ways to promote your book. Here's one more. 15 DIY, as in do it yourself, book promotion tools you need to know. Then there's another one. What's the best way to promote my self-published book? 71 ways to promote and market your books. And finally, 101 book marketing ideas to promote your book. So just from the articles found on the first page of Google, actually this is just the first top half before I even scroll down, you can get like easily 200 or 300 ways to promote a book. Don't you think you can take 200 of those tips and whittle it down to like a list of 30? Of course you could. And the problem is anybody can do that, not just you. But if you did that, then you would be a pretender, a fake expert. Instead, now imagine if you took that entire list, collated and curated them, took only the ones that reasonably sounded like Brilliant-5, discarded the Blah-95, you applied them to your own Kindle or paperback book, and then you came up with a blog post or podcast episode titled 8 Incredible Ways to Promote Your Book That Helped Me Sell 75 copies of my own book in just 3 days, and 45 more ways that just don't work in 2017. Now, obviously, if I were to create an episode or blog post, I would put in a lot more time and come up with maybe even a better title, but you get the point. So at first glance, your title tells me you're not giving me 1001 ways, you're not giving me 101 ways, not 50, not 30. It is like the reverse LeBron count. So you're giving me just 8 ways to promote my book. So, and this is one of those times where less is more. You would actually put me off if you inflated the numbers just to look more valuable, or you just threw in more stuff just to make it look like you have more content. In today's world, more content is not the answer. More content and longer content and unnecessarily detailed content will actually hurt you. So if you have something to teach me in the shortest time possible, fastest way possible, like a TED Talk, most efficient way possible. And I have another episode coming up about that. So let's get back to the example title of your fake book. 8 incredible ways to promote your book that helped me sell 75 copies of my own book in just 3 days, and 45 more ways that just don't work in 2017. So I can tell from your title that you care to at least whittle it down to a shorter list. And then you're saying it helped you sell 75 copies of your own book, which means you have actually written a book. So you have probably experienced the whole book promotion process. Then you've sold 75 copies. Not too bad. And that too in 3 days. Is that groundbreaking? No. But it is actually more believable and more authentic than if you had said how to sell 50 million copies of your book with these 1001 marketing tips. Now, you'll actually see a lot of fake marketers do that. They'll take their own results or the results of one of their outliers in their niche and then make it look like everybody can do it, right? The title would be How to Make $17,546.21. You see how they put the cents and stuff? On one webinar that lasts less than 45 minutes. Okay, so just because one dang dude did that doesn't mean I can or that anyone else can. So don't take somebody's results and say they can do the same thing with their stuff. But you can title it in a way where you're not saying you can sell 75 books in 3 days. You're not saying that. The title is more like, these are the tips that help me sell 75 copies, right? You're not implying that I can get the same results. That's the fastest way to get sued today. So you have written a book. I can see that. You're not quoting astronomical numbers. It sounds like you have tried these yourself and looks like you found what does work and what doesn't work, and you have applied it to your own book and you got some results, and now you want to share those results. And you're not implying in any way that I will get those same results. But because of the way you have your title positioned, I would like to know those tips anyway, just in case I can get those to work for my book too. See the difference? There's a difference between saying, here's how you should do something versus here are the ways I did it, and here's what I found, and here are my results, and here's how it can help you. So that's the difference between a performer and a pretender. And that right there is the brilliance of my new rule, the Brilliant-5 versus the Blah-95. Ooh, got goosebumps, because that was pretty meta, right? I applied the Brilliant-5 rule to this very episode because at least I hope that you think of it that way, because I do my best to bring my very best content to you. You will never get Blah-95 stuff from me. No Blah-95 Facebook posts, no Blah-95 Instagram post. By the way, you should follow me on Instagram. Just go to subscribeme.fm/Instagram. So no Blah-95 blog post, no Blah-95 podcast episodes. At least I would like to think so. I strive every day to bring you my Brilliant-5, like my main man, LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers would put it. I #strive for greatness. All right, now just real quick before I go, I just launched my spanking new online course at premiumpodcasting.com. And the course is titled Premium Podcasting: How to Create, Deliver, and Monetize Premium Audio Content and Deliver It in 4 different ways. 1. Audio player on a page. 2. Downloadable MP3 links. 3. Premium podcast. And 4. Mobile app. So the basic premise behind this course is, are you a hobbyist or are you an entrepreneur? So it all comes down to this one simple choice. Do you want to make money from your podcast or because of your podcast? Yes, there is a big difference, and I explained that in this video on the homepage at premiumpodcasting.com. And be warned, this is easily the most controversial video I have ever created. So I'm on a mission to help podcasters and content creators not fall for some of the more popular myths in podcasting. I would rather tell you the inconvenient truth right now than I told you so in 3 years. So are you happy making pocket change on the side from your podcasts or blog or YouTube channel? Pocket change that you could use to pay for hosting and maybe a couple of cool toys and maybe a night out? Or do you wish to make real, long-term, repeatable, scalable, sustainable income that one day can help you quit your day job and follow your dreams and passions full-time? So that's what my new course covers in great detail. It teaches you how to monetize premium audio content like creating a premium podcast, audiobooks, audio courses, audio from your videos, audio extracted from your webinars and seminars and online articles. So please check it out at premiumpodcasting.com. And if you go there right now for the next few days, from the time this episode comes out, you can get a massive launch discount of up to $300. So get it now before the discounts disappear, and I promise you they will disappear in just a few days. Even the main video at the top of the website is so informative and eye-opening for content creators of all types, especially if you want to create and sell premium audio through your own membership site or online course. So check it out at premiumpodcasting.com. That's it for this episode. Cheers and talk soon.